Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody can hear me. We got anybody in the chat lurking in the background yet? As you can see, we're in the museum today. I've been on the past couple of days because my broadband at the house died completely on Sunday. And it's going to take 3 to 5 days for the engineer to come out. So it could be next week before it's fixed. And I wasn't able to come into the museum the last couple of days because there was work being done on the house, so I needed to stay home. So I got into the museum today, so I'm going to do a little bit of work on this layout. I remembered to bring my earth colors today, so we can start doing the gardens. I'm on YouTube live. Simo, how's it going? How you doing, sir? I hope you're keeping well. Kieran, how are you doing? I was worried for a minute there. I was talking to myself. So we're going to do a bit of work in the gardens. So I'll move the camera over now so you can see what I'm doing. Hi, Jacob. Welcome to the stream. I hope everybody's well. Let's see if we can just position this camera a little bit better so you can see what I'm doing. Bear with me a sec, guys. Hi, Andrew. How you doing? I'm back online again for a little while. Hi, Carl. How you doing? So you can see the gardens here. This is what I started doing over 2 weeks ago now. I realized I forgot my earth colors. So I have to re-put that glue back in again. Put in the earth colors to make the border. And we can stick some of the plants on top. So if you're wondering where I've been, my broadband died completely on me out in my house. And I wasn't able to get into the museum here to broadcast from here because we had work being done on the house and the kids being off school. I had to stay home. And I had no internet to send any messages or do anything. So I brought some of my Scenic materials in today, and I'll have a go at finishing these gardens. I'll do some static grass as well. So this is just normal PVA from the pound shop. Just putting it on where I want the borders. Then we just get a bag of our earth scatter. So I've got some brown there. Hi Pork Chop, how you doing? And Graham, and hello to anyone else who's popped in I've missed. And I will just sprinkle this on top of the glue. So what have I missed? So say I had no internet. I've got terrible phone signal at my house. All right, so we'll leave that to dry, probably overnight, and then we can vacuum off the excess, and then I'll stick some of these flowers down on top of it. And let's move some of this stuff. I want to put some grass, let me move the camera. In this sort of area here to give it some variation. Jacob, yeah, I am in Donegal. This layout is just a figment of imagination. It's not based on anywhere in Donegal. But this museum is in Donegal town. Right, so I've got some Woodlands Scenic 4mm grass, light green. Yeah, it should give a contrast on there. I don't want to put too much on. Hi Ollie, how you doing? The Irish train guy, how you doing? Yeah, Kieran, I've missed everybody's stream and everybody's video. So I've had no internet. I did see last night that Graham popped up again. It was good to see him back on the scene again. It's good to hear about his wife as well. Well on the road to recovery. Got her eyesight and everything back. And we may actually get cut off here today from the internet because they are actually coming in to swap over providers in the museum. They were supposed to be here between 9 and 1, and there's no sign of them yet. So if I disappear suddenly, that's probably why, because we've got cut off. Hi, Seamus. Right, so this is the Pico static grass applicator that I'm using. What I'm going to do is use some of the, so the Pico applicator is the same as the WWS applicator. It's just got the Pico branding on it. I do want to get the larger one, because this is the smaller hopper one here. I do want to get the larger one. Have we lost the camera already? So what I'm going to do is use some of the layering spray, spray it in this area here, and just go over it with some of the 4mm static grass, just see how it looks. Going for a lighter shade, so hopefully it'll break it up a little bit. The street lights, you on about those ones there, Seamus? Or there's these ones here. More floodlights for the car park. And I've got these on the station. They're all 3-volt LED lights. They all came off Wish. Right, I'm just going to move the camera while I spray because I don't want to get glue on the camera. It doesn't seem to have stood up very well. So I'll just go over it with the applicator just to try and drag it up. I think that's actually improved that patch of grass now. It's given a bit more color to it. It's taken that very sort of, I'm going to lift the camera up so you can see it. It's taken very much the Gulf green look out of it. Made it look a little bit more natural, as opposed to if we look on that side, how green it is. So I'm going to do that in the rest of the fields now. I'm just going to perch this camera up over here. So what's everyone been doing the last couple of days? What have I missed? He was glued down. So I do have the bigger hopper with the other grills on my birthday list. Do a little bit around the tree. I think I'm going to do some, I want to try and do some over here on the mountainside here. I just want to see how it looks. I want to try and blend the mountainside into the greenery a bit better. It doesn't actually look too bad. I think everyone can hear and see everything okay? Yeah, very good, Carl, yeah. Just check to see what happened to this other. Why this timed out. I don't know why that switched off. I'll add that back into the stream again, see how it looks. Hi Andy, how you doing? Yeah, it's just all these little fiddly bits to do on here now, just to get it into place and finish off these gardens, put a few more flowers in the gardens. I'm going to put some more static grass over the hillside, I think, not over the whole thing, but in patches. Now, one thing with this hopper, with this static grass applicator, the smaller one, it's all right up to 4, maybe 6 mil grass. Anything longer than that, and it just doesn't do the job. So I'm going to do static grass in patches. And then what I'll do is I'll sprinkle some of the flower head stuff I have over as well to give a bit of color. Seamus, the scenery isn't based on anything. It's based on my own imagination. The hillside, I took the colors and everything from the hillside from looking out my own front room window. Because as you know, I live out in Barnes, and before you get to the Gap, you have some hilly areas, which is dark, and it's mostly sort of scrubland with heather and wind bushes, or gorse, as they would say in the UK, over it. So that's what I'm trying to imitate. So basically, this was just it's cardboard formers with plaster of Paris bandage over the top, and then it's all painted brown. And then I used different colored scatters over it. Now these scatters, they're not very good because although this hasn't been out near the sun, it's got very bleached, and a lot of the color has drained out of the sawdust. So this is why I'm going to go over it now with some static grass in places and just see how it looks, just to pick out areas of it. I've had some mixed success with this. With this static grass applicator. But I must say this layering spray is excellent. I'm doing it around the edge here. That just helps blend the hillside into the ground level. I'll just seal it with a little bit. Just go over it lightly. No, this is just simple imagination. It's basically, this is just a layout for first off, this layout is going into the County Museum for their exhibition for 6-7 months. And then it'll be coming back to the centre. Most likely it will have Thomas and Percy running around it. The kids will be able to come in, press a button, and the train will start moving, and the lights will come on. So it's a little bit interactive for them. So they come in, they can press something and then watch it go around. The other layout I'm building in will be on a PIR sensor. So when people walk in, it'll actually activate and start moving. Yes, Burtonport did have a train line. It closed fairly early. It was the Letterkenny to Burtonport line was closed completely in 47, I think it was. They did close it at the end of the 30s, but then the government made them reopen it, and it ran for about another 7 years into 47, I think it was, when it closed. 43. Purely because of during the war years, when there's a scarcity of petrol and diesel and that sort of thing, the train was the only way of getting goods around, so they had to reopen the track. I'm going to have a look in my box of Scenic stuff, see what I've got to put on the layout. Right, I've got some of the Woodland Scenic flowers, which is basically just a colored powder. That's it there, so that's the red one. You know, it actually looks orange. So the idea is this: you just take some of it, you sprinkle it over where the grass is, and it just gives the indication of flower heads, and it just breaks the green up with a little bit of color. It's a bit much there. It's also got a yellow. That's the yellow there. I'll just try and put a little bit around. You can use this stuff on trees as well to indicate berries, that sort of thing. It's a little 4-pack. You get red, yellow, white, and a purpley color, I think it is. No, orange, that's it. Right, so I'll come around and give you a bit of a closer up view of the hillside now. I think putting a little bit of static grass on it has actually improved it. It's helped break it up a bit more. So you've got the bushes and that I put on the other day. Now you've got these little patches of grass, a little bit of color in them, a little bit of grass down there just to break up, coming down into the flat farmland. Now, unfortunately, for whatever reason, this PVA glue dried white. Normally it dries clear, so I don't know whether it was the atmosphere in here when it was drying. So I'm going to have to try and do something about that. The last train to run in Donegal would have been around February 1965. It was the Great Northern Line, which crossed the border at Strabane, ran up through Donegal, and then crossed the border back into Derry. And that would have been the last train to run. And shortly afterwards, obviously the lifting trains ran and ripped all the track up. The last train for the Donegal narrow gauge was on the 31st of December 1959. And the last one on the Swilly, I think, was 1954. Was the last train on the Swilly. Hi, Pete and Digger. How you doing? Hope you're well, guys. Hi, Finbar. Don't think I said hello to you yet. Yeah, in Donegal there used to be 225 miles of narrow gauge track and probably about 40 miles of standard gauge track, and there's none of it left. And we do our best in this little museum here to keep the railway heritage that we had in Donegal alive. Tell everybody about it. Tell everybody that they could have come to this building 60 years ago and caught a train and go absolutely anywhere in the country. Back when we had a fully integrated transport system. If any of you are interested on, is it Sunday the 4th, the MRYCG 24-hour thing is going on? I've got the 7 o'clock slot, I believe, and I'll be doing it from the museum here. I'll be giving everybody a little tour of the museum, give the history of the 3 railways that ran in the county, and answering any questions that may come up. So you can all tune in for that. Apologies for any of you who tuned into the talk we done last Friday. Unfortunately, Jim's internet was letting us down and the sound was cutting in and out all the time. But we're hoping once this lockdown's over and we can actually be face-to-face, we'll re-record it and put it back up again. All right, see you, Andy. Yeah, so hopefully I'll put some trains on this layout and have them running around on that Sunday evening, as well as on the layout here. It'll be darker as well, so you'll be able to see some of the lights on the actual layout here. And so it should be an interesting evening. I'll give you the history and show you some videos, and that's as long as the internet is working and everything runs smoothly. Right, I think I will put some maybe 2 mil grass in the gardens. I might actually just leave them alone till that earth dries and then do the static grass afterwards. Yeah, that's probably a better idea. Oh, you got the jab, have you, Pete? Yeah, say I don't think I'll be getting my jab until October, I think is when I'm due to get it. Right, I've got some little posts here for a washing line. So I'm going to get my drill, make a couple of holes, stick them in. Which garden will I put them in? So anybody on headphones, watch out. Just going to drill a couple of holes. So these still have to be painted. They're just a couple of matchsticks glued together. Need a slightly bigger hole. As always, be careful when you're drilling holes, what's underneath. Yeah, that's right. Now these still need painting. And then I'll use I got some brown thread or string across or fishing line to use as the washing line. Now, I was watching Sam on Peaks 47 a couple of weeks ago, and he used masking tape to imitate sheets. So I'm just going to cut some masking tape and put it on the line on the other side just to see how it looks. Now, it looked quite good when he done it. But we all know when you watch these people on YouTube who make it look easy. Reminds me, I haven't seen Tim in the chat. So I'm just going to cut a couple of squares of masking tape. And when I measured this, it should have a scale length of a double sheet. I suppose you actually could paint and color the masking tape if you wanted. It doesn't look too bad. I suppose it gives an indication of what it is. Let's see if I can swing a camera around there so you can see it. Yeah. It sort of adds to the effect. Now I just need to find somebody out there with arms upstretched, as if they're hanging it up. Yeah, he usually has 3 sheets to win by the end of the evening, after he's finished his Jack D. All right, let's put the farmhouse back down. Oh, I haven't noticed that farmhouse yet. When I built it, I actually put the door in upside down. So, if I can get in here tomorrow, I can finish off the gardens, vacuum up the scatter, put some static grass down, put some of the flowers down. And then if I remember, bring in some of the animals and people and populate the platform. on the hillside and the fields. And that should be it, more or less complete. Give the tracks a clean and put some trains on it. I don't think I need to do much more with the hillside now. That those little bits of static grass, the patches with a bit of colour on them, it's helped break it up. I sort of blended it into the lower land as well. And when I do the gardens, put a few vehicles on the roads, people on, it should complete it. You guys think of anything that's missing from it, apart from the people and animals and vehicles? I've got some of that scale model scenery rubbish I could put around as well, you know, the Tesco bags and newspapers. Stick a few bits of those around. I've got a few pallets and things I could pile around. There's some dustbins and that to go outside the houses. My layout at home, I haven't actually done anything with that because I did actually also hurt my back at the weekend. So I haven't been out near it. So there's been nothing done to that since the update I put out last week. So there may not be a video out this Friday. Yeah, this is just a DC layout. So the whole idea is to be the controller, 2 tracks powered, just trains going around the tracks. I don't know if you guys have ever come across some of those buttons that you press sometimes for lights in the hallway. They've got like a 30-second timer on it. You press it and it keeps the lights on for about 30 seconds. It'll be the same on here. So they come up, press the button, stay on for 30 seconds. Now, at the moment with COVID, you can't have touch surfaces, but that will be the plan in the future. And if COVID keeps hanging around, then I will just replace that with a PIR sensor so they can just wave their hand in front of it to make it go. Yeah, there's lights on it. Those street lights work. The lights in the car park work. The station house has got lights in it. The buffers have got lights on it. You can look back through all my videos. I've taken this from bare baseboard right up to how it is now. So I've done videos on everything on it. The buffers are just the standard Horby ones, which I painted and weathered. You can see here, I've just painted them with some weathering powders on them. This one here, I put a couple of sleepers across the end of it and painted it up. That has got 2 lights on it. So it's, you know, you can buy these, but I just made it out of 2 matchsticks and a couple of small LEDs. And it works. And I say in the buffers, they've got a light in them as well, so they all light up. But hopefully I'll have it all lit up for when I do the talk in here. That'll be Sunday week, I think. Now, the houses in the street, they don't have any lights in them because I just painted the windows black on there, so there's no lights in them. But between the street lights and the station with the lights in it, I didn't bother putting any lights in the engine sheds because the whole idea is this has to be mobile, so I want to be able to lift these off easily enough. And it's just the edges around here just need to be painted now, and some fascia put on the side here. And I'll put along here, I'll put a piece around coming up and just paint it with a blue background with some clouds on it, just so this side will have a background. So obviously the rest of it will be open, so kids and that can actually walk around it. All right, if I've missed anybody's questions or anything, pop it back in the chat again. Wash that up so I don't end up with my losing another brush to PVA and glue. I'll put the cow back. Is there any update on Chris? Is he coming back? Oh, I think I need to make a list of what I need to bring in. You have to find a piece of paper when you want one. Right, so I want to bring in cars, people, animals. I need some more signage for over the other side. Bring in the power supplies. Rolling stock. Line. Thread. What else did I say I need to do in here? So people, animals, vehicles. Some more line signage for over that side. Bring in the power supplies, the rolling stock. I think that should be it. Yeah. No, all right. I had a pen, but I had a pencil in my pocket, but nothing to write on. I was in Anthony's last night. That's good. Right. I think I'm going to call it a day now because it is very cold in here. Even though the sun is shining outside and it's actually a nice warm day out in the sunshine, this building having 2 foot thick walls is very, very cold. So hopefully I will catch you guys tomorrow. If not, it'll be next week. So it all depends on my broadband. So stay safe, everyone. Take care. And I will catch you hopefully tomorrow. And if not, next week. Bye, everyone.